democratizing and have people have access to information. So we're sharing it with the community as well. And with no further ado, I will pass the virtual mic to Rakesh. The stage is yours.
Thanks, Anna. Wonderful start there, and real cool of you to come up with that question. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It's really wonderful to have you all here. When we thought about the topic, the future of facilitation, we said, hey, yeah, let's just come together and see what we can explore. And let's do that in 3 simple steps. So let's start with where we are today. What does status quo look like? What's the state of facilitation today in today's world? Where do we want to be? What is it that we're looking ahead to? And finally, the third step being, how do we get there? So these are the 3 sort of milestones that we want to address today. And yeah, let's do it together. And otherwise, if you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, feel free to throw them in at any point. We'll be using the digital whiteboard Miro, well integrated into Butter here. And we'll also be doing a little bit of breakout session magic with Butter. Once we get to that, Anna and I will support you. And thanks, Ben, for also being there. So yeah, let's get started. A lot of motivation there. So let me just open the Miro board so that we all see it.
Smooth.
Sure is. So let me zoom out and give you a quick lay of the land, the big picture. Like I said, the 3 questions: where are we now, where do we want to be, and how do we get there? So let's start with where we are right now. And like any other well-facilitated session, I feel it's important to start with, how are we feeling today? So feel free to share some emojis there, and or even some post-its talking about how you're feeling right now. So it's very important that we have this sort of common feeling where we are addressing change. So those ones are fixed there. Pick up some emojis from the Butter menu and see if you can just put them there.
Can we maybe quickly, Rakesh, bring everyone to you just to make sure that they all, yes, they all find the spot where we are. Yeah. If you're new to Miro, let me just add a couple of sticky notes here for you on the side for you to just drag and drop next to the, just to make things smooth and easy.
Perfect.
There we go.
Or you can also double click anytime on the Miro surface and you're going to get a post-it there. So good to see quite a few people around Joy. That's nice. It's also a surprise there. Oh, there's someone who's down with a cold. I hope you get better. Happy Summer decided to show up today. Yes, it sure did. That's the summer in. and it's gone probably in a day or two. Brilliant stuff there. Thank you for sharing. So great to see us mostly excited and sort of ready to go. Then let's jump into the next part. What are the trends and challenges affecting facilitation today? So very special times that we are in right now. It's been the start of a pandemic. All kinds of things have changed. We live completely new and different lives. So what do you think are the trends and challenges affecting facilitation today? And go wild with as many post-its as possible. You don't have to stick to just those. I just put them in so that it's easy for you to write. And again, you can create new post-its by Control-C, Control-V, very old command. Otherwise, just click on a sticky there, press Alt, and drag it over. That's another way of creating stickies.
I'll start a timer for us so we can hear a bit of a music in the background while we work, if that's okay.
That'll be great. Okay, time's up there, and I see you've got some amazing challenges there. Maybe just take a few more seconds to finish writing and take a look at what the others have also written. I see a lot of interesting stuff there, from tech issues and bad internet connections all the way to having trouble reading emotions, either in person or online. General disengagement and change fatigue. Yes, that's also very real. Digital inclusivity, or the divide, is also a big one. Digital transformation, yeah, all the ones who haven't gone virtual now, or even establishing facilitation as a sustainable business. So if you've taken a moment to read through most of the challenges, try to change the ones that are really important. I mean, identify the ones that are super important, right now and see if you can change the color to black. That way, we'll know these are the most important ones to focus on. So for example, I can show you, I'm just going to take this empty sticky, and you have this menu bar popping up, fill color, just choose black there, and there you go. Keeping participants engaged, yes, absolutely. Reading emotions, the sustainable business. I even feel being recognized as a facilitator, that's a huge challenge, because as we all saw, explaining what facilitation is to a 6-year-old is not an easy thing. And also demonstrating the value of it to people. Although it's such an age-old role and profession that's existed. Tech issues, yeah, the digital divide is real. Amazing. Can we go a little bit deeper and have one or two voices there, just talking about, can you share what other challenges do you see within these important ones? Like, what's a deeper challenge within establishing facilitation as a business, for example? Go for it. Does one of you share with your voice?
I'm not the one who has actually written it, but I believe that it is kind of similar to what I have called status quo. Yes, so basically there is a huge need for that facilitation, and many companies are stating kind of a surface level when they feel like, yeah, we are agile, etc., which only means that there is a lot of mess, but we are doing our best. Yes, and if you are very keen on keeping the status quo at the same time, it basically means we need to change, but we don't want to change anything. Yes, so
Sounds
yes,
like it. Yeah.
yeah. So I would say this is like the main thing, especially that many companies are now moving through this digital transformation. Yes, so basically it is a moment for them to kind of jump into basically something that is a whole culture, whole business, whole leadership. Yes, so that is very connected to one another, not just taking the best practices.
Sounds good. Thank you. That's indeed very true. And understanding the value and convincing people about the value always remain the biggest challenges here. So now that we have seen the challenges, this is amazing. We have a first idea of what we are up against, and that's such a broad spectrum of issues. So let's go into the next question. So what does the future hold? So for this, I'm going to be leading you in a short guided visualization where you can take a shot at imagining what the future is going to hold for you and use that to come back and write what's different between the present and the future. So this is a very simple exercise. I'm just going to take you through a text, and all you have to do is follow me. Sit back in your chair, relax, and just listen to my voice. Close your eyes, relax your body, breathe deeply, focus on your breathing, and let outside things stay outside. Breathe and relax, especially relax your head, your shoulders, your neck. And now feel yourself becoming light. Try to visualize yourself from the outside. Picture yourself sitting there in your space. Visualize your body, the clothes that you're wearing, the space around you, and slowly see the calendar in front of you. If you don't have a calendar, imagine there's a calendar, and see the days fluttering by, passing by, to indicate time passing by. And imagine that you arrive in the future about 5 or 10 years from now. You decide, see how long term you can go. And imagine you being in that same space, but noticing that everything around you has changed. Now try to observe this new environment of the future around you. It's the same day of the same month, but the year is 5 or 10 years ahead. You're also older, and you're also able to watch yourself. So what has changed in this life around you as a facilitator? Inhabit this time. Imagine your circumstances. Where are you? What are you doing there? With whom are you working? What does a typical day look like? Are you indoors or outdoors? Are you working at home or in an office? How do you feel? What are the topics that you're dealing with? And who are the people that you work with? What are you proud of? What do you look at with happiness? Now look around you and try to really look for more details. I'll give you a moment there. They'll come back and bring you back to the present. Until then, continue imagining what this future looks like in your surroundings. Great. Now take one last look around you in this future and slowly come out of this older you. Come back and imagine your desk. Imagine this calendar on your desk also coming back to the present. It shows you the current date and the time. And you also land back in your seat. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes and try to capture what was different in the present and the future. So that's one thing you can do. The second thing you can do is you can look at how do we work? What are some, what are some to-dos there? What are things that are progressed? What are things that are completed? So in terms of certain things really exist there for facilitation. So how have things progressed there? And how do we thrive? So here you can bring in a picture. What images or graphics would illustrate a successful future of facilitation? So use all three of these artifacts and feel free to add more if you feel like it. And while you're doing that, does anyone feel like sharing how this was? Obviously, this was a very short visualization. I'm sure it must have been difficult for a lot of you. It's not easy. Not everyone gets some visuals also. That's totally all right. But any shares out there? Yeah, Anna Maria, go for it.
So I really do believe that at first I was like skeptical. I'm usually, whenever I hear you're invited to close your eyes, I'm like, what's happening? But it really helped a lot, and especially seeing the calendar dates move into the future, it really helped a lot my brain to go into the future state or the ideation state and to be able to visualize what would be those differences. So I think that was a really powerful way to enter the ideation phase. So thanks for that. I loved it.
Thanks. Anything special? Anything surprising that you saw?
Yeah, so two main things. I believe that facilitation right now is something that is reserved to the few lucky ones. It feels like it, right? So there are these experts and they're facilitating and so on. And I do hope that in the future, facilitation will be something on everyone's lips. So we will get together and the first question would be, so who's facilitating?
Yeah.
Like who takes on this hat? And there will be no more facilitators. I'm not sure if that's okay for us or not, but like everyone's a facilitator. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great one. Democratizing facilitation.
There we go.
That's a very nice thought. Julius, on to you.
Yes, thank you. Well, I saw myself I think the main difference between like the present and the future is that right now I use facilitation mostly in professional settings, like meetings and workshops and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw myself like more in a casual environment, like I don't know, somewhere in a rural setting, or like on a, I don't know, not in a corporate boardroom, you know.
Okay,
Just
nice.
working with nice people, young people, or like old people, doesn't matter. But it was more like a, you know, like a casual setting. I found that very interesting.
That's very nice. I think you should explore more of that.
Yes, thank you for the visualization. I enjoyed it.
Done. Thanks for joining. Over to you, Olaf. You had a comment there.
Olaf, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, true. You're on mute.
Here?
Now, I guess we hear you now.
Cool. So yeah, it's similar to Julius, not maybe rural, but I saw a lot of. It's also because I guess it depends on. It's because of the headspace where I'm at right now, thinking about buying a house. So I was just thinking, okay, what's gonna be my office hours in the future? And I saw basically being in the countryside in Sweden and doing my work from there and having a space where people also work wouldn't. Because it's not going to work if it's completely isolated and people, you don't actually also get to meet people. So it needs to be a place where you can work, but also people can come and stay. So that's kind of what we're, at least me and my wife, is trying to make happen in the next couple of years. So countryside, working in this field, but also having space for people to come. So you can still be connected with people, not just in this way, but also actually physically connected with people. That's kind of what I saw.
That's beautiful.
And
a community space. Yeah. And Julius also says he'll join us there. So
good. See you in a couple of years. Give me 3 years. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Nice. Carolina, you had a comment?
Hi, thanks. Yes, so basically a lot of was said before my turn. So long story short, I must say that I agree with everything that was said. From the observation, like on the board, you can see that most of us is now like kind of confused and challenged, yes, by this need, but we are expecting the best of it. And what I can add from my side is also this strong inclusiveness that is necessary for that process, which basically makes everyone a facilitator. Yes, it is also strongly highlighted in Kaizen philosophy. Yes, so like basically, if there is anything that we can improve, and anyone observe it on any level, then it there is this opportunity to actually improve and make things better. So I must say that a lot of it is what the future will bring to us depends on the mindset of everyone, not just an individual in a company. Yeah. It's great to have at least one individual, yes, as a starting point. But in the end, it is strong inclusiveness for everyone to be unique and have the input.
Oh, with you on that, Carolina. We are in this together, so it's amazing to have so many wonderful people joining today with different experiences as facilitators and bringing their amazing perspectives. So the more we do things together, the better it's going to be. On to you, Steve.
Hi. A few things that have been said resonate quite strongly with some of the thoughts that I'd had in the visioning exercise. Mm-hmm. First thing I thought of was we need different ways of organizing. We need to have more self-management. Yeah. And I'm thinking of the sort of things in that book, Reinventing Organizations. Uh-huh. So facilitators are exactly the sort of people that we require to help organizations change the way they make decisions. So number one, that. Second, very recently, I don't know how it's happened, but I've had a whole stream of young people coming and meeting up with me. They've seen our blog or heard about us in one way or another. And I think the future that I'm seeing there as well which is a bit like coaching, but how do we take it further? Mm-hmm. creating small groups whereby people can actually meet up and share the challenges that they're feeling, particularly young people, particularly in India, whereby there's going to be so many young people looking for employment, and they need to develop those personal skills to be able to get on with other people. So I think that's another area I thought of. And I liked what people were saying about everybody's a facilitator. So the facilitators need to facilitate the facilitators. So they're all facilitators. Great stuff. Yeah, so good. And thanks for organizing it. Super.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Steve. That was a wonderful talk there. Absolutely. So, yeah, how do we create these micro communities? I think a lot of it is already happening. So, on to you, Vinay.
Hey, thanks, Rakesh. Fantastic visualization there. And this is what comes to me. If you look at the last year and a half, how you've transitioned from doing physical workshops to doing it virtually. Mm-hmm. And today, when I look at virtual, it's either Zoom or Teams or Meets or platforms like Butter, and you're using tools like Miro. But I think in the future, I see so much of it will be immersive technology, right? You're able to not just express and share, but also effectively collaborate. So it's almost like going down a rabbit hole. And I see my 13-year-old nephew in the US who's always glued to his game on his phone, right? Because the word there for him is so much more exciting than what's happening physically, right? And I'm guessing we're all in the same path.
Yeah, I hope we find some way of going hybrid and making sure that there's a nice balance between some kind of physical connection and doing things virtually. At the same time, my experience has been very positive in terms of if you start virtual, I feel the connections are stronger when you meet in person. This has been my personal experience. So definitely, I hope the tech can only make things better. Let's see where it goes. Great. So everyone's sort of seeing more immersive tools and more fancy tech spaces where you can walk into people's space virtually. Wow, I would love to do that. And the future, less focus on formal education, more focus on skill building. Yes, we badly need that. Universities are history. Real size holograms, yeah, waiting for Star Trek and Star Wars to come to life. That would be the dream. Wonderful. I think we have quite a lot of stuff collected here. How about things that have been? How do we look at things that we use for work? What do we still need to do? What has progressed? What has completed? Any insights there? I mean, for me, from a personal standpoint, I feel we still need to do a lot when it comes to facilitation with regional flavors. I feel right now it's very, at least from my perspective, it feels very Western world focused. I'm imagining what it looks like to facilitate say in a rural Indian space, in the local vernacular, or in other regions where it's really needed, but there are no ways of making that happen right now. So that would be a very interesting topic to explore. Any other insights from people there? At the same time, see if you can also get some images on the mood board. Would be also cool. Educating people on tools. Less is more, yes, completely agree. I think right now we're all chained to our screens and laptops. Without this, it's really tough to move away and really do things without having that screen in front of you. I think that's one of the biggest challenges. New formats, yes. Slowing down, yeah. Slowing down, staying strong, very much. Yes, I think this is something that really summarizes everything. We finally learned that we don't need to be in the same room to get stuff done. The concept of FaceTime is finally dead also, so you can just focus on getting things done wherever you are. It doesn't matter, although I still see a lot of companies forcing people to show up in offices. I'm sure they have their reasons, but you don't really have to. Okay. Just being mindful of time here, so let's maybe move on to how do we get there. And I think this is where I'll need your help, Anna and Ben, to do the breakout room magic. We're looking for ideas about how to get there. So what are some really concrete ideas that you can imagine? And the criteria for that would be, think of how collaborative these ideas can be. Can they be executed? Can they really be implemented? That's another criteria. And how can they really directly impact facilitation as a craft? So we're looking to first collect ideas in twos. So you'll be put in pairs in a breakout room. You can come up with ideas, and then you can go into breakout rooms of 4 to further refine those ideas. And finally, nominate someone from your group to share what idea really stood out, and we'll share that with everyone in the group here. I hope that makes sense. Should we do that?
So I have set up the breakout rooms in pairs for 5 minutes, and you're just going to have to be a tiny wee patient because we're passing through the rooms to open the boards for you. All right? So see you in 5 minutes.
Okay, welcome in the larger round. I hope there were some productive conversations there. Any standout ideas? I definitely heard some in both the groups, so would love to hear maybe one person from each group. Could you possibly give us a summary?
Olaf's village is the summary. Basically, if the world doesn't want us, we need to build that village. Yes, so this is the ultimate solution.
Okay.
But this is only if it doesn't go as we plan.
So the apocalyptic solution. Just kidding there, but yeah, definitely. Like exploring new spaces or new rural spaces, and finding this balance between work and life, and looking at everything as life. We badly need that. From the other group, any standout ideas there? How can we address Annabelle? Yeah, go for it.
So we were thinking in terms of the actual kind of facilitation, and if you're facilitating a learning experience, it's helpful to actually look closely at how people learn. So we were saying that it's typical to, from a facilitation perspective, that we'd make it really interactive. People are also always doing, lots of interactivity, but actually, while that's great, is that really the best way for someone to learn if content is always being thrown at them, if they're always having to perform and do breakout stuff or, do lots of sticky stuff for 100% of the time? We were just thinking maybe some time built into the schedule for self-reflection, or just some downtime where they can actually reflect on what they've learned and ask any questions, but so it's not all boom, boom, boom and doing.
I'm with you on that, absolutely. We need a very healthy balance there for sure, and even a lot of silent time. So one thing I've started to do is to have some silent sessions where we can just come and work and focus without having to interact or do other things. So absolutely, we need that.
Cool, thanks.
Thanks for sharing that, Annabelle and Olaf. Anna, you have something to share? Go for it.
Yeah, so I think that linking it back to what Annabelle just said, it just occurred to me that besides what's happening in the session, there are sometimes we are lacking in better ways to follow up and see how do we make those actions, whatever we establish together, group, whatever we put on paper, how do we make it work? So that follow up, it's almost sometimes a bit more challenging than the actual work of getting the ideas on paper, doing them, and how do we make sure we get them. And I feel that there's little tools for that, or there's little ways, I guess, that we focus on, hey, let's do stuff when we're together, and then I guess we'll wait and see. Oh, and we hear a very interesting music. Maybe it's your phone.
Must be Rakesh.
Hey, that's a stereotype.
100%.
No, I'm happy doing that, but no, it's not my phone.
I thought that yours was the only mic that was unmuted, and I'm like, if it's not me, then it's him.
No. Yeah, I think that's a great question that came up. How do you stay in touch with the people here? Maybe that's something you can talk about, Anna. And what actions can you take now? So maybe if you can describe just one action that you want to take with someone that you met here, I think that would be amazing.
So was that a question for me?
Yeah, partly for you also.
Yeah, from Olof. Yeah. So I will pop this in the chat, Olof, because we are a very friendly bunch here at the Butter community. So feel free to join us. I am also popping Rakesh's links, LinkedIn and his whole business and so on. So that's where we are regularly hosting events, whether there's networkings or sessions like this one. And we have a very interesting one next week on Thursday. And then we pop that link for you as well. Maybe you're finding something on the lineup that you would like to explore. I hope with this, I answered your question, Olof. Beautiful.
Great. Then we're almost at the end, I guess. Very close to closing time. Any other questions or thoughts that people want to share? Go for it. Now's your time.
Hey, I will share. I was very inspired by our conversation that we had in the 1 to 4 all, and I think what I would like to do is kind of collect, different paces for workshops, or like also get kind of this facilitation workshop mindset out of these 1 hour or 90 minutes or 2 hours boxes. Yeah. I mean, like, I think we all always kind of put ourselves in these constraints.
We do.
I think we should break out of that. That facilitation happens in a 2 hour call and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's a very cool thought. Absolutely. And maybe that's one way to break out from being chained to the screen and stuff too, and consciously create some ways of doing that. I'll definitely follow up on that with you, Yulis. It's on my list.
I'm definitely. Sorry.
Yeah. Go
okay.
On.
Yeah. Cool. I'm definitely going to use also the facilitation tools to on my personal experience tomorrow with one of my coworkers. So you just guys have built up the idea that I had just made in my mind a few minutes before I joined this meeting. I was just finishing my work. So in this case, the idea would be about join the Butter community. Long story short, the idea is to use a tool as such to work on any challenges. Yes, so it is very often that people are only looking for those templates. You know what I mean? That this facilitation session needs to be prepared in advance. That everyone needs to be prepared, need to know what to do. And sometimes it is just about creating a common space. Yes, that you can simply throw the ideas in and use it to take the sticker in or out. Yes, so it not necessarily needs to be always that prepared, but it needs to give a chance for both parties to be involved. Yes, so I would say that connection, yes, connection, and once again connection to make people as much connected on any level. One of the sessions we have also discussed this cultural differences, and I would say that such a tools, they also help a lot with that, because sometimes when we have those cultural differences and people are not that ready to share or speak the emotions, this is the way you can easily do it with the apps. Yes. So yeah, I can let you know next week if it worked to solve like a one-to-one challenges as well.
Great. Good luck with that, Kalina. So I guess on that note, Anna, we reached the end of the session. So we got some insights there, and there are people joining the Butter community, making facilitation go mainstream, do more collaborative sessions, and especially remove that time box. Let's see how we can do that. But I would really love to thank everyone who showed up today. Thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing your ideas and insights. It's been really wonderful, very valuable. Looking forward to connecting even beyond today's session. Reach out, let's connect, let's keep talking, and see how we can build the future of facilitation together.
Thanks a lot, Rakesh, for joining, and thanks everyone for your super duper insights, and looking forward to hear what you and Julius come up with.
Sure.
On unboxing facilitation, right? Is that let's make that a thing.
Oh, you already thought of the title.
Hey, that's my brain thinks in my brain marketing oriented. Yes, thanks everyone. Wish a lovely evening or rest of the day, or good night, Ben, for you. And we hope to see you soon. Take care.
Thanks, Ben.
Cheers,
Thanks, everybody. Good evening, good night, wherever you are.
Thanks.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.